Jazz Today with Richie Beirach and Chris and Scheuber.
Hey Richie, hey Regina.
Hey.
Hey Chris, hey Rich.
Hi. Hello.
It's so great to have you here. Regina, for the first time.
Yeah.
And we have a good reason.
What's the reason?
What's the reason? You made a
The
wonderful
reason
CD, no?
is that Regina and Big Steph made a new live CD of
Not Big Steph, come on. Stefan.
Stefan.
Big Steph, oh, you don't like it?
Komisch.
Okay,
Nein,
Richie, go a
say
little
it again.
bit to Regina. Just a little bit, yeah. That's better.
Okay,
Yeah.
take two.
Stefan Urwille heißt er.
The reason we're here is because Regina and Stefan Urwille made a new CD that is really wonderful, and I love it very much. And we're in the process of making a good sequence, a good order. And this podcast is going to be about what is involved in making a good sequence for a CD and all different possibilities and the reasons for it. And we're lucky to have Regina, who is playing on the CD. So I would say, ask first, Regina, what is your sequence now? What do you have?
I have no sequence.
Okay. What are the possibilities? And why?
I think you have a lot of experience of CDs,
I do.
Rose, but as far as I understood, and I listened yesterday to this CD is a kind of different, because normally you have a kind of theme, or let's say you have
Subject.
a subject, or you have a quest solo or quest live recording. This is quite a program.
Yes.
Or we did a CD now with Alex. We have a program.
Miles tribute.
So there's not easy, but there's a way to find a sequence which makes sense.
Like, for example,
Like for a live concert. But this CD,
it's difficult
it's
because...
difficult because it has for me two different kinds of styles. I'm not sure if this is the right word.
Two different kinds of styles, two different kinds of
music.
Right? For example, her Shapes record was easy to find the sequence because she wrote it that way, in a way.
Yeah.
And this one also was never meant for one recording.
But I'm sorry, the Shapes might be not a good example, because we had a drum solo for the first time, which never somebody did, and we didn't know where to put it. And it was on the first track, and then decided to put it in the ending. So we had to change the row too.
But there's actually
For the
only
flow.
the one thing.
It was very difficult.
Yeah, but I mean the order of pieces was composed that way, so there was no doubts to change one
That's right.
to 4 to 3 to whatever.
But remember, with the tribute to Miles, we made a live concert and we changed the row for the recording.
We changed the row, and it was very difficult to find the right sequence.
Yeah.
In this case, it makes it even more difficult, but also really worth it, because the music is great, I feel, that the title of the CD and the subject of the main tune is very serious, very dark, very beautiful composition that is has a lot of weight to it, and heaviness and tragedy and beautiful. And there are other tunes written by Regina and Stefan that are very different in mood, and how to put them next to each other without it being ketchup and ice cream.
Yeah,
This is the problem.
that's the problem.
Right. And I had one solution. Stefan had one solution. I'm sure you're going to have one.
I had one yesterday.
You had one, okay.
So I have all solutions right here on the
Fantastic.
paper.
The thing
Okay.
is, I mean, exactly what you said, ketchup and ice cream. The row, I'm sorry, but I'm this way honest, but not criticizing
No, it's
you.
fine.
I felt I listened to your row yesterday.
Okay.
This was the way I was listening to it.
Okay, cool.
And I felt somehow throwing like in a roller coaster from left to right not in a good way. So there were a kind of contemporary music, solo piano piece, and after was a kind of nice duo, just a theme, and it come back to. It was for me like an back and forth, and they were not really a good. How to say? It was not round to me. And one thing I didn't like, and there I'm agreeing with Stefan. The last song is this Kinderschweigen, which is the most dark probably,
and the title tune from the
yeah. And this came after a kind of a tune which could be a pop hit.
I understand the hit.
I didn't like it at all.
Right.
Because for me the pop hit is the ending.
Okay. So let me.
Why is for you? Excuse me.
Sorry.
Why is for you the pop hit is the ending? From which point of view?
There are 2 points of view, I would say. First of all, this is the song is kind of giving some hope, positive input, and ends the CD it's for me an ending. It's like a concert and you play at the end the most popular pop hit. And it is a pop hit. So, and if you play after this, the most dark and intense song, it sounded to me like this last song would not be a part of the CD. It's like an encore song after the CD. This I don't feel it into the CD. That's what I'm feeling.
I totally disagree, and I'll tell you why. If you put anything after this piece, it's going to be very difficult, especially the pop thing after, because even though it was a live concert, people that are listening, it's in their house. They're listening to a thing in their house without an audience. You don't necessarily want to or can recreate the atmosphere of a live concert in someone's house. If you put the reason I want to put the children piece last is because it is the title song. It is the focus of the recording. It is, to me, the most important because you're putting a picture on the cover too, and it's very difficult to put anything after it. And the fact, if it's last, there's nothing after it. So it leaves people with your statement. To me, the most important 2 tunes in a recording are the first and the last. Even though people now can listen whatever they want. They listen to the first thing. You want the first impression. There's only one first impression. And then you want to leave them with something. So she, I think, is very importantly making this tune important. It's not just an afterthought or an encore. The other tunes are very different, especially this other one, this pop hit. If you put the pop hit last, you're making it like, okay, maybe it's an encore, and you want to leave the audience with a positive feeling. But this is not a commercial record. This is an artistic statement, not meant to be commercial. We hope that everybody hears it, but the agenda, the intent, is it's an artistic statement, and it's great.
I totally disagree, not with the artistic statement. It's not a pop hit. We say pop hit to mention.
Relative to
I agree. Yeah, it's not a pop hit, but it could be a pop hit.
I understand. But
so it's not a pop hit. This leads into an
okay, you're right.
It's not correct.
But let me finish.
I'm sorry.
Let me finish. Yeah. The thing is, if you put the children piece, let's say next to last, and then you put the hit or anything else after it, you're taking away, in my opinion, from the real impact of it. In other words, let it be this dark, beautiful, mysterious, tragic thing. That's what she wants, I think, right? And all the other things, like I would begin with the tune, the album, with a kind of a song-like thing, right? And one more thing, I'm sorry. The other choice is to start the recording with the title tune, with the children thing, which can be done. I mean, Miles, look, Nefertiti record, what's the first tune? Nefertiti. There's a certain tradition where you have the title tune, being the first tune? Because people might want to hear.
There are hundreds of CDs where the name of the CD is in the middle.
That's right. I agree, but I'm just saying
it's not absolutely.
It's not a rule. It's just a suggestion.
But you have to look at the same time what is else in the music.
Of course.
And this title, I really I really disagree.
Okay.
As a last song, exactly this song. And for me, actually, it takes away the most power of this song because of the last. Think about it. You listen to a CD. Where are you the most tired? At the end. You are the most tired at the end. And then you start with the most heavy song. Not cool.
But you're assuming a certain lack of concentration on the listener? Like
everybody's concentration on on listening to a CD from the end to the beginning, from the beginning to the end.
I don't agree.
Yeah, maybe if you jump because you don't listen to all, but if you listen really carefully to a CD, at the end you are the most tired. That would happen to me yesterday. And especially if you have before a song who takes all. There are difficult songs before too, like the Würfel or Intuition, or how is it called?
Intuition, yeah.
And so there are heavy songs.
That's right.
Even before. And then comes a song who takes all this energy away by a kind of pop song. We say all the time pop song. And then you start with the most heavy song at the end.
But on the other side, I understand what you mean. I understand what you mean. I mean, this is very, very important what you both say. But I think, the concentration of listeners is a personal thing too. Because I know it from my experience too, if you're tired already and if you maybe had some information in your head already, and then you get this CD which is serious, and then you start to listen to it and you're already tired actually. So you get more and more tired. It doesn't matter what's happening.
Yeah, but
then listen second time, because it's maybe first time it's just not enough to listen to understand the idea.
Yeah, but
that happens all the time. But
don't you say with this is not then the row is not so important because you can stop and make a break and go jump wherever you want.
The row, I think it's even more important for the composer or for the musicians who make the CD. Less for the listener.
Okay, this might be so you do it for you and not for the listener.
No, for the music.
Yes, for the music,
but for you. What you think?
Yes, and it's like it's in the practice. It's in the practice many times that musician or a composer do it for him. I mean, for him in terms of I do it for the music, for me, for the music. However, I mean, and then the listener follows me. Or maybe not.
Hopefully.
Or maybe not.
Let me ask a question. What are you trying to say with this CD? What is your basic message or messages? And once you can answer that, then you can really decide on the row. Because the row is very important, and the row is there to help get your message across in a certain way. Now, there might be more than one message. This record, like I said in my liner notes, this record has two distinct, contrasting styles. One is a very beautiful, major chords, interesting harmony, positive, lyrical melodies, singing melodies, good tunes. The other is very interesting, free, contemporary music, vocabulary, solo things, deep writing, this piece with no improvisation, and the composition. The composition is important. And they're very separate. It's not like Nefertiti, where you have Nefertiti and Sorcerer. They're all within the same style. Or a solo piano record. This is very interesting record, and because of the multiplicity of styles, and that the styles are so far apart, it makes it difficult to make a row.
Exactly. That's true.
Yeah. That's why we're having this discussion. Now, the other thing is, here's another way. My way was contrast. Ice cream, ketchup. Ice cream, ketchup.
It's not your favorite word,
I'm
normally.
sorry, I'm hungry. I can't have it. The main thing is, I want contrast. The other way is to sustain a mood. I have this discussion with Dave. He says, there's too much contrast from the burnout to the ballads. He says, let's put two ballads together and sustain the mood. But then you have
two ballads. No, now you accelerate.
Well, two free things. Two free things.
It has to be contrast is okay, but if you are shaking the contrast like crazy, it's too much.
But in this case,
you can have a contemporary song which is not so hard to listen and which is hard to listen one after the other, and then maybe the contrast comes. There's two pieces, for example. It must be one.
I understand that. I understand.
This I didn't like at all.
Okay, I totally
even more than the other thing.
I totally disagree because what you want.
I like it.
No, interesting because normally we're agreeing all the time.
No, it's fun.
Very easily.
Because what you want to do, most importantly, after the message, is to sustain interest. And if you put like intuition next to the solo piano thing, and you have 9 minutes of this beautiful dark shit, after 6 minutes you're like, okay.
No, then you say these songs are too similar. This is not true. In this way, you're saying they are not having that contrast by itself. They're having enough contrast. By
I don't
itself.
agree.
Totally.
You think intuition and her solo thing have contrast?
Absolutely.
No, not. It's the same language.
Yeah, but it has a big contrast. So different. You would say it's the same song?
Not the same song.
See.
It's a similar mood. And it's 9 minutes.
Mood, this is fine. That's why we want...
You separate them, actually. Exactly, I see. You separate them. You not...
What?
You didn't separate them. You put the intuitions and then purple.
Never.
It's very interesting, and Steph came to this almost the same role like me.
Really?
Not really, but Steph...
Absolutely, the second part is exactly the same.
Really?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, let's make a very specific question. What should be the first tune, and what should be the last tune? What do you think, Regina? Come on, you have to make a decision at some point.
This point didn't come yet.
Okay, Chris, what do you think?
I could live with this starting with the Alp thing. There's another particular reason why I would not put this at the beginning.
Which one would you put first?
I think it was
First
intuition.
solo tune.
Or for what?
No, I mean, very first tune.
The very first tune?
What was my idea? I don't remember.
Very first tune is the first solitude. The
Solitude,
three,
yeah.
4...
I would not put the Alphorn song.
I was like...
Alp singing.
What?
Because for me, but I must admit, I listened to the CD only once. Maybe I have to. And not in the mix. This is another thing too. We have to listen to the mix because everything would be different if you hear the right mix.
Right, exactly right. But still,
But
music is music.
for me, there are more, let's say, dark songs than major songs. There are not so many, let's say, nice songs.
I know what you mean, yeah.
Not in I don't mean it in a bad way. So if you put this at the beginning, you already put it one song away from all these, let's say, easier songs.
Very right. But don't we have enough?
And then starts the heavy stuff. It leads for me in a wrong direction. That's why I would not put this.
Because you want to save it for relief.
Exactly. Yeah.
But don't we have enough for
Actually, we have... I mean, I don't know how to characterize Würfel, because Würfel is
solo piano.
Maybe more like the mood is more neutral.
That's the cube. But that's very contemporary sound.
Yeah, but it's not like it's not really major, not really minor. It's something completely.
But it's not harmonic and diatonic and song-like, right?
I mean, Scheuber is dark. It's major, but it's dark.
It's dark.
It's really dark.
It's dark.
No, but Scheuber is not dark in the way I meant dark. Maybe dark is
you
not
meant
the right
dark
word.
meaning
Contemporary, yeah.
Right.
The Würfel, the cube, is contemporary.
Yes, intuition,
contemporary.
Is
contemporary.
The children, contemporary.
Children, contemporary.
Stefan's, the children's song,
contemporary.
Right.
There are only this Alpsäge,
yes.
Scheuber,
yes.
and the Higher, which is the song, the hit. So there are only 3, let's say, beauties in the way of easy listening, songs, and 5 contemporary songs.
But if you start to
First solitude is
and you start already with a beauty.
Is it in tonality? I mean, it's contemporary. In which way you mean it? First Solitude is a completely different mood.
That's a song, but dark, right? That's a.
Well, this is
I forget it. I'm
this
sorry.
is a sad minor. Just
Sad
really
minor.
sad minor.
I think that if maybe I'm being traditional. If you start with the intuition or Würfel, you're starting with something kind of dark and mysterious, and
That's the CD. And then it makes maybe even more sense to end it with the children. Because then you can say there is a Klammer, there is a parenthese.
like a bookend.
But if you
Like
start,
here-
but if you start with a
That's
beauty, it leads in the wrong direction, and you end with the children. Not this. You just gave me a good argument. For,
That's right.
For
I agree.
then maybe the children is fine.
But
If
the first tune would be a Solitude, you say, or
or maybe another, maybe another one. I don't
then
know.
that's. See, I'd have to hear it now. I don't remember
Yeah,
exactly.
maybe we really put some. We can try to put it on.
I would like to hear it, but because it's different to me. The first tune is very important. It's more important than the other tunes because it's in a choice of the composer or the artist saying this is an index to the taste. This is what I'm presenting. So
Yeah, but here you are presenting actually two different things.
exactly. So I'm thinking maybe conservative. Let's present the positive song first to get the motherfuckers in. To get them in and not scare them
But
away.
maybe they want to listen to some contemporary, modern
Then
stuff.
they wait till the next song.
And they say, "Oh, I'm sorry. This is again like a normal thing." Like
Okay, here's the
everybody
thing.
plays."
We didn't play on it. She played on it with Steph. So in the end, you're going to decide.
Of course.
And
it
you're
is-
going to decide what you want to present first. Do you
yeah,
have
with Steph together probably.
with Steph?
No.
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 She. Okay, Madame Secretary.
With which song he started? I'll say it. I
Yeah,
think.
really.
Absäge.
But this is so. Look,
Absäge.
this
Absäge.
CD,
First Solitude.
as you said, this CD is not a tradition.
That's right.
It's not a tradition. But you start in a traditional way. Fits not to me.
Well, First Solitude is
Be strong
exactly
from the
traditional
beginning.
too.
Is it traditional?
First Solitude, Chris, what you
We should hear it.
what you
Maybe-
propose is traditional too.
Nee, but not.
It's a song, it's just sad. It's dark and minor, but it's still a song. It's not positive and.
Then
and
maybe I meant another song. I'm
I
not
think
sure.
so.
I meant.
want to start with
I want to start with a contemporary song.
Well, then that's intuitions.
Yeah, that's
Which is
probably
pretty-
what I said.
That's
Intuitions,
completely
I'm sorry.
written.
Yeah, but
No,
you
it's
said
not-
it's First Solitude. It's something
Yeah,
else.
maybe I mix. Look, I don't know these
Okay,
songs.
okay, okay, okay.
I don't want. I would not start this CD with a beauty.
Oh, that's very different. Okay, she wants to start with intuition or the cube or
And I'm
something, right?
pretty sure I said intuition.
Or what about the children's song first?
Yeah, I thought about this too.
And then
But,
and with the hit, like you said.
I don't feel like. This
Okay,
is,
that's
this
up
is
to
what
you.
I really don't feel like.
Good. That's good that you know.
Yeah, I mean, because I mean, if this is the main song, I mean,
Should save it to the end or save it later. Or...
for me, it's before the last.
Look what we did.
So-
Look what we did with the Miles tribute. We started with Agitation, and we were going to end with Paraphernalia. But then you said no, because at the concert we did Blue and Green, right? So the heavy song, the monster song, the focus is next to the last, and then the last song is kind of like not dessert, but like
That's what I'm saying. That's why I would play the higher at the last. The high point is not the ending. The high point is before the ending.
I think it's true.
This is
You
in
talked me into it.
in life too.
You talked me into it.
I'm sorry.
No, he's right. I agree. So I changed.
3, 2, 1 now. Oh, okay.
And what are you thinking from the
3, 2, 1.
I mean, maybe it's not so important at the end. I don't know.
No, it's important, especially in a year. You say, hey, what's the CD? You put the first tune on in general. You put the first tune on. What do you want to represent?
Yeah, that's a really good question.
What do you want to represent yourself? If you have one song,
And this is not a normal CD, so it should not start at normal.
So the
Definitely not
normal
normal.
says no.
but it's great that it's not normal. It's
Yeah.
I mean, if it's not normal and it's excellent, then that's what you want.
Yeah.
Because normal means everything like regular. But this is special and different and a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
And also, it was not conceived as one CD. It was just like when you told me, so I'm going to write this, you write this, and then we put it together like a menu. When you go to a restaurant, you don't have your meal. You have to pick from this and this and this. That's what this is. It's what it is, and it's a good meal. From my experience with making sequences, talking to Lee for thousands of hours and Abercrombie, not arguing, but and with Manfred, he was very good at this.
Who?
Manfred, ECM. You find at the beginning, people try and this doesn't work, then you put it together, and then you leave it alone for about a week or two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then when you go back to it, there's something very mysterious. The sequence finds its own way, in a way. The music will tell you what to do if you just keep open. It's very hard to stay open.
Yeah.
But I was trained to stay open. Like you taught me now, you changed my mind, which I'm very happy because I'm open.
No, well, you're changing my mind.
That's right. But I'm always open because I'm not insecure. That's about this. I'm insecure about everything else.
No, but I mean, I could change too, and but
I know you're changing all the time. But I want the best for this music, and
yeah. But the question you mentioned, this is really what
do you want to say?
What you want to say if somebody who doesn't know you takes the CD in a shop. Let's think this still exists. You take the CD, you look at it, you put it in. Yeah. Which should be the first song representative that I would like to hear it, that I would like to hear it forward or not. That's the point of the first song. And if you start with a regular, major, normal song, it could be Kinderleiden, whatever it could be called, you would think probably this is a normal duo CD, if it's the Alpsäge. But if it's something more contemporary, it could make you more interesting to listen more to it. That is my thinking about why I would not start with this song.
That makes sense.
You mean the very first song, yeah?
That's what you said. This is the very important moment.
It's
you
the
put the
index
CD on.
Okay.
What is it
Or
about?
YouTube. We listen. We look at the link where you say, "Who's this guy?" You get it, and you go play, and you go to the first tune. You don't go to the third tune.
Yeah.
You don't know, and then.
Or sometimes you
Well,
jump
actually, I go to all tunes if I listen
But
to
the first tune is the first tune, right?
It depends.
If you don't know if it's not.
Okay, let's say if for example, if I'm looking, let's say the best of, and there are hits, that's a different situation. But I listen to old tunes, and just like from the beginning till the end, and.
And the other thing could be, I just think about, I mean, this could be written in a kind of liner notes too. That this is a dualism CD
I wrote that.
kind
That's
of.
what I wrote.
Okay.
I wrote
didn't
it.
read.
I said this. I just reread them. I said, this is a very unusual CD in that there are, to me, two distinct, definite
This is
streams.
really good, yeah.
It's in there. And that's what creates the difficulty in the sequence, and that's what makes it so interesting. And also, usually if you have like a song like a simple, beautiful harmony thing with some free stuff, it's horrible. Because there isn't the connection. But in this case, because Regina also, when she's improvising in a contemporary way, she's still melodic, she's still lyrical, she's still compositional.
Yeah.
And so there's a connection because it's her. It's not like one guy playing a song, Matheny stuff, and then some, crazy shit.
Yeah.
That turns you off. That means they're just immature. This is a mature statement from two artists. Also, Steph really surprised me with his solo thing. The children's song was great. It was very contemporary. I mean, that song is it's a kid's song, right? And he used the simplicity of it. And you could see that's about imagination. Imagination from a guitar, which is okay.
Yeah, and he did some nice sounds.
He did some nice sounds.
And also, it's not a crazy CD about everybody's showing off.
No, it's very
really
musical.
Nice, very musical CD.
It's musical.
I liked it too very much.
And it's balanced. You both have a solo piece, and you're playing together.
Yeah.
There's some beautiful, memorable melodies. Yeah.
So how about I would suggest maybe to send Jürgen one of the rows, whatever, or make the mix finishing.
I would like to
Make
hear
the
it in
single-
the sequence with a decent sound without any jumps in the
Yeah, and with in a mix,
Yeah.
and then
He'll do it, right?
we can do it. And even
But
listen,
which-
if we have a good CD, we
But
can.
which sequence should he make it in?
No, single, we can do it by ourselves. Then we can mix it.
Oh, then we
however
could.
want.
Oh, that's right. Boom,
If
boom,
he
boom.
sends the single files,
There you go.
then we can do a CD like this, we can do a CD like that, and then we can listen to it and we make another,
Podcast.
yeah, with the music.
Yeah.
Because if we put it on now, and it jumps all the time, it makes no
Okay.
sense on 2 CDs. And
So, Regina,
well, Regina, what do you think?
what do you think?
Do you have an idea now more, or are you more clear? Or
I think I just need a little time
She needs time to think about it. Yeah.
to think about all what you said yesterday and today
Okay.
and before yesterday. I mean, like,
Yeah. I want you to read my liner notes, please.
yeah, of
Because
course.
I talked about a lot of things that I talked about today.
Yeah.
But you convinced me about I was sure that the first tune should be a positive song, but actually it's not the whole it's not the important message of the tune. And the songs are really contrasting to the heavy free shit and contemporary stuff. Isn't that true?
But maybe it's also just a question of taste on a certain moment.
No.
From a certain moment.
No, it's not
No?
taste. No,
Okay.
taste is something personal. We're talking about trying to go for a universal solution that was great for the music that's there. Then everyone can have taste and taste, but when you're putting it together, it's not taste. It's more letting the natural shape of the music determine the contrast that is needed. Because what's consistent with every order of every record is contrast. What you said was that maybe it's better to not have so much contrast and put together like intuition and the solo thing and to sustain a mood. And that's a way to go, but that risks boredom. And that risks...
But don't you have a kind of inner order? For example, you have a medium swing, you have a waltz, you have a very fast, you have a ballad,
Eighth note
and you have
eighth
eighth note feel.
Right, that's normal.
So something like this, or
You have contrast.
you don't put the very fast and then the ballad and then the medium swing. You find an inner order. It's
Yes.
not contrast.
Inner order is a very good term, but actually we start with the burn, the up tempo.
This has a particular reason.
We start with agitation.
Yeah,
Miles
because
starts with agitation.
Yeah, and
we started with riddles. One guy, a giant burn.
yeah, but we have not really contrast. Like you put, maybe you start with a very fast song or very heavy song, and then you have a medium swing. You go faster,
Right.
Maybe, and then
We don't
then
have
the
so much
ballad.
contrast
You
here.
don't make the contrast like really because just find the biggest contrast you can
Right,
find.
that's right. Well, but,
That's
but
what I- that's what I
in a
mean.
group like that of songs, you have much more contrast than they do
Yeah.
on this. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
So we got to find the contrast within the contrast here. That's the thing.
There's an inner order somehow.
Very
or
good.
whatever.
Inner order.
Yeah,
That's what I meant when I said let the music
yeah.
find itself. That's what you have to do. You're good at waiting. You're very good at waiting and not rushing your shit.
No, anyway, it's not mixed. Jürgen's not ready. I mean,
Yeah.
as far as
What's great is Philip will take this for sure, and the Miles thing. This
Yeah.
is fantastic. That to me
Same
means
time.
that means more to me than a lot of things because whatever happens to it after is up to the world, the people, whoever. But the fact that he believes in us to take these 2 records, especially now at this time when everything's dead, it's like I'd like to do anything for him. We should play a free concert for him to promote the CDs. Maybe you and Steph, and then we play with the Miles Band someplace. I would do it for nothing.
Could be.
If we didn't have to go
Could be
too
maybe
far, like
put it in the post
CD.
where the WDR recording, where we did the recording. in
Yeah,
February.
CD release.
He books this.
I do it for nothing.
Maybe do a double CD release.
Release party.
Something like this. I can ask Philip about
Tell
this. Yeah. So it's all is about money, like always.
Right, but that's a very good
Or
purpose.
Corona at the moment we not playing so much. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Richie.
Regina, are you
Well,
happy
thank you,
about
Chris.
this? I like this discussion
Yeah,
very
me too.
much
Yeah, me
again.
too.
This is something new again.
It's great.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Thanks for
Thank
playing.
you. Thank
So
you.
I'll see you for a nice coffee upstairs.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the Brothers.
What? Roberta? She's here?
We're the...